Before we get into today's video, major announcement, guys. I have officially replaced the link in the description box for the newsletter with a WhatsApp group chat. That's right, we're doing away with the newsletter. All the good stuff you came to expect from the newsletter now will be done in this exclusive WhatsApp group where I update all you guys, clients, viewers from YouTube, from other social media platforms, and friends and family with regards to the latest happenings within the Toronto real estate market and market trends. Charts, news reports, all the interesting and informative stuff that goes into these videos and all other social media content as well. So click the link to join the WhatsApp group. Stay informed with the latest happenings within the GTA real estate market. Enough of that, let's start with the video. Just the other day, a client of mine asked me, Sam, which intersection has the most expensive condos within the city of Toronto? And I thought it would be a great topic for a video. So that's why in today's video, we're going to take a look at condo prices by major intersection. Now, obviously the city of Toronto is a vast city, and it's next to impossible for me to cover every major intersection. This is just part one of covering Toronto condo prices by major intersection within the city of Toronto. Expect more parts of this series to come out. We're going to cover some of the main ones in today's video. We're going to keep doing it in the coming weeks and months. So if there's an intersection that was not covered in this video, rest assured I did do my research with regards to that. Feel free to ask it in the comments or get in touch with me. As always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sam, a Toronto real estate agent working with buyers and sellers across the city of Toronto and the greater Toronto area. On this channel, we like to discuss all things Toronto and GTA real estate market oriented, market stats, market trends, market reports, buyer advice, seller advice, pre-construction previews, building reviews, property tours, and so much more. So if you find any of this content enjoyable, feel free to subscribe and give a thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. Furthermore, you can just get in touch with me with your questions. So anyways, let us begin by taking a look at the major intersections in question. Let's start at an intersection that's near and dear to my heart. If you've watched this channel for a long time, you know how highly I think of the Yonge and Sheppard area. Overall, the North York area as a neighborhood, as the part of the city that I love the most. This is even putting aside real estate, but obviously let's take a look at condo prices with regards to the Yonge and Sheppard intersection, namely 1 kilometer radius. So we're looking, as I said, within a 1 kilometer radius of the Yonge and Sheppard intersection as we see it here, right? So this really accounts for most of these parts, not the entire Yonge and Sheppard community with regards to the condo market, because Doris Avenue accounts for a lot of condos as well. So it's going to be within a 1 kilometer radius, as I said. And when we take a look at this area, we see for a condo across all unit types, so from 1 bedroom to studio to 3 bedroom, we see an average sold price of $813,000 with a median sold price of $791,000. This is across 90 sales. Here, the date range we're looking at for sales is from April 1st to May 15th. This is being recorded May 26th. So obviously the sales from May 15th to May 26th is not accounted for. You might be watching this sometime early June, or who knows, in 2025. The point is, as of the recording of this video, we see an average sold price of $813,000 with a median of $791,000. And as you can see here, the Yonge and Sheppard intersection with regards to Yonge and Sheppard condo prices is already pretty saturated. Of course, there is a new project that's coming along here, as you can see in this parking lot. That's going to be a mega project. I'll definitely do a pre-construction preview for that. But most of the condo stock here is obviously north of Sheppard. As I said, some of the Doris condos, this stretch, this street, which is parallel to Yonge, known as Doris, account for the Yonge and Sheppard intersection. And all in all, you know, you have some really good buildings such as the Hallmark building. Some of the Doris buildings are really good as well. Some of the buildings fronting on Yonge Street are really good as well. But then you have some less than great buildings, such as the Bogart buildings. Now, I've done plenty of sales in the Bogart buildings. I actually think they're a little bit overhated. Don't get me wrong, I would not rank them as some of the best condos, but I don't think they're some of the worst either. They definitely have their redeeming qualities. Next up, let's take a look at condo prices at the Yonge and Finch intersection, which is obviously the next major intersection north of Yonge and Sheppard. When we take a look at the Yonge and Finch intersection with regards to Toronto condos, we see, according to the condo market in that intersection, the average sold price of $725,000 with a median sold price of $690,000. Now, this is according to 74 sales, and as you can see, the Yonge and Finch intersection is a little bit more bare, although it is still more saturated than what we'll be covering next, which is Yonge and Steeles. And another interesting thing about Yonge and Finch is that the condominium stock here is a little bit on the older side, right? So you don't have those brand new condos at the Yonge and Finch intersection. So once again, we are indeed looking at a 1 kilometer radius of Yonge and Finch for this data. And with no surprise, it is cheaper than Yonge and Sheppard. And that partially does have to do with the fact that it has older condos. But another key thing that impacts the Yonge and Finch intersection, of course, is the office buildings, the parking lots for Finch Station, which there's a lot more parking lots for Finch Station, so as opposed to Sheppard Station. And the only new development that's really coming to Yonge and Finch that might be a little bit outside the purview of Yonge and Finch in this 1 kilometer radius is these M2M condos, which is about 3 to 4 towers that are already under construction. This is an outdated map, obviously, at Yonge and Comer. Now let's go even further north and take a look at Yonge and Steeles. Yes, Toronto condo prices at the Yonge and Steeles intersection. So Yonge and Steeles is really the boundary between Toronto and York region. Anything north of Steeles, for the most part, becomes York region, whether you're looking at Markham or Vaughan. And without surprise, there's the least amount of sales, 17 sales in this period, because the condo stock is lower. We're looking at an average sold price of $704,000 with a median sold price of $650,000. So by far much cheaper than Yonge and Sheppard and even cheaper than Yonge and Finch. And that's right, we're looking at it. This is the Yonge and Steeles intersection. Very naked, very bare. But keep this in mind. There's a major development coming here. All these car lots you see, these are car dealerships, used or new car dealerships. For the most part, the majority of them are going to be developed into condos. There are massive proposals right now to develop these into 14 to 15 towers. And maybe all that won't come to fruition, but surely some will. So in the coming years, this area is going to look very different. Now, with regards to the condos that already exist within this 1 kilometer radius, once again, as I said, the condo stock is relatively low. Are these condos? These are two sets of different condos. These are the Grandview condos, and these are the World on Yonge condos, right? And these constitute, once again, part of the Yonge and Steeles intersection with regards to the Yonge and Steeles condo market. Most of the inventory with regards to sales, listings come from these sets of buildings. Now, Grandview, for instance, is an interesting building, and it's actually quite topical because I just sold a unit in Grandview, one Grandview, a couple of months back for $975,000. It was a 2+1, and I'm going to make a video on that. You can expect a video out on that unit that I just sold, the property tool, what your money can buy in Toronto real estate series, to come out soon. So I'll touch on the building itself, the units, and the Yonge and Steeles intersection more even in that video, so stay tuned for that. But let's move forward to, for instance, the World on Yonge buildings. These buildings I'm not the biggest fans of, to be honest with you, and in fact I think they're inferior than the Bogart buildings that we discussed at Yonge and Sheppard. They're just frankly not my cup of tea. Don't like the units, don't like the layouts. The commercial section of these World on Yonge buildings are really interesting and very convenient. But other than the commercial section, right, because it is mixed residential commercial, not very much so keen on these buildings. So the Yonge and Steeles intersection as of right now is the most naked, the most bare. A lot of inventory and listings come from these World on Yonge buildings. This is obviously Center Point Mall, which Center Point Mall will also be developed in the coming years. At least that is the proposal, along with these car dealerships you see here. And as an added bonus of insight, in my opinion, this is a gas station that probably has the worst Tim Hortons in the world, I would probably have to say. So avoid this Tim Hortons at all costs. But anyways, that's an aside. In summary, the Yonge and Steeles intersection will be unrecognizable in the next 5 to 8 years. Moving forward, let's go even south of Yonge and Sheppard. That's right, the next major intersection we're going to take a look at with regards to the Toronto condo market and Toronto condo prices by intersection is Yonge and Eglinton. And when we take a look at the Yonge and Eglinton condo market within a kilometer radius of Yonge and Eglinton, we see 86 sales, so the second highest volume of sales next to Yonge and Sheppard. At Yonge and Sheppard, we were looking at 90, and an average sold price of $753,000 with a median sold price of $690,000. So in contrast to Yonge and Sheppard, this is a big gap, right? Most people would assume Yonge and Eglinton would be more expensive, not less expensive, right? If you recall, the average sold price for Yonge and Sheppard was around $810,000. The median was about $100,000 or $90,000 more than the $690 figure we're looking at here. And this is a little bit misleading, right? The gap isn't as large as this makes it sound. It's just a set of sales that occurred from April 1st to May 15th. Nonetheless, though, this is something I have been talking about for a long time, and I will continue to talk about in the future. When it comes to the Yonge and Sheppard intersection and the North York real estate market overall, really North York as a community, I really like it better than Midtown. Now, in terms of just putting real estate aside, the community, the area, sure, it's even, I would say, although I would give the edge to Yonge and Sheppard and the North York area overall. When it comes to the condo market and the real estate market, I personally, once again, believe that Yonge and Sheppard is superior to Yonge and Eglinton. I understand that I am in the minority in that, and Yonge and Eglinton is fantastic in its own right. It has a lot of red brick homes when it comes to freehold that I love, the throwback look. But when it comes to the condo market, it's just not on par, in my opinion, with Yonge and Sheppard, even Yonge and Finch in some instances. Putting all that aside, though, let's take a closer look at the Yonge and Eglinton intersection. When we take a look at the Yonge and Eglinton intersection, off the bat, it's very obvious, as it should be, that it's the most condo rich intersection, right? So the amount of saturation, inventory, buildings is much higher than even Yonge and Sheppard. And one of the insights with regards to the Yonge and Eglinton condo market, and one of the reasons I find it a little bit inferior than Yonge and Sheppard, although once again, quality in its own right, is the fact that the condo options there in terms of buildings are really just okay to good. You don't have that 1 to 3 knockout buildings, right? The buildings there typically are really investor focused and investor friendly, and not so much end user friendly. When we were taking a look at Yonge and Sheppard, Yonge and Finch, you have, of course, some investor focused buildings as well, and there's a lot of tenants there, but you have a lot of buildings that are way more apt for end users, maybe newcomers or small families or working professional couples that are starting a family, or just individuals who are looking for a quiet, peaceful building within a central intersection within the city of Toronto. Whereas Yonge and Eglinton can give you amazing lifestyle, there's no question about that. It's much more closer to downtown, but it's much more hectic, not as end user friendly. And that also seeps into the quality of the buildings as well. Once again, don't get me wrong, there are good buildings there. There are also some buildings you should probably avoid, but that's another topic for a different time. Overall, on average, okay to good buildings, but the building qualities are not that fantastic. But here we're looking at mainly the Redpath condos, the Roehampton condos, the Eglinton condos, condos on Eglinton itself. You have tons of buildings, tons of variety, and tons of options. And something for the Yonge and Eglinton condo market is the LRT coming, obviously. That has been heavily under construction for a long time. I mean, really, the whole intersection has been heavily under construction, so that's one of the downsides as well. But nonetheless, at least in the date range we're looking, its prices have been a little bit underinflated and underperforming. Anyways, that is it for today's video. There's so many more intersections to cover, so stay tuned for more of this series where I cover Toronto condo prices by major intersection. There's also a ton of more videos coming out, a ton of more property tours, market reports, market stats. I referred to one of the property tours coming up in this video for one of the properties I sold and one of the buildings I covered in this video, so stay tuned for that. And obviously, if you enjoy this content, find it informative, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. My contact information in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.